Good morning. Working on a little shop project today. I found one, if you see the cabinet on the left-hand side, is a leftover from when I finished out the barn dominium. The other three are from a project that we have done here lately. You see, they're just, we took them out of another home and basically brought them in here. I thought I was kind of slick having some trash cans in the shop. But what I want to do is I wanted to make a extended workbench. And if you look on this side, this is one that you buy at your big box store, like a Home Depot, Lowe's, etc. I mounted the vise to the end of it, and then got your normal brand there with another box. But I'm kind of running out of, I've got plenty of storage, but just drawer space. I'm not a big fan of the Ryobi stackable stuff over here. It makes it hard to get to it. So I want to take and transfer everything that's on that plywood and move it down into these drawers and then just kind of organize it, right? Have one that's for the Ryobi stuff, maybe a drawer for trimmers, and I go switch between blades and string trimmers, etc. So you see, like on my my Echo string trimmer, I've got a blade because a lot of this stuff, there's the one with the string, but a lot of the stuff that's out here, you can't cut it with the string. But just try to fill some of this space up. But I wanted a top like this, but I didn't want to pay a ton of money because I'm also cheap. So I found at a place called Doug's Deals that's over here by where I live. Some of these, as you can tell, I had already cut some of them. But basically they are packing table tops is what they are. Super thick. So I'll try to get in on this. You see how thick it is. Super thick. Also very heavy, very dense. These happen to be used by Yeti. They set their laser engravers on top of it. But I ended up getting these for $25 a piece. It was 2 tables. They didn't have any legs. So I got 50 bucks in the top. I cut them yesterday, and I'll be real honest with you, I should have thought to record it. I did not. But I want to show you the piece that I have purchased from Harbor Freight that actually made this super easy, and it was super cheap. But let me go into this just a little bit and kind of show you what I did. So this is the top. What I did was I just went and bought from Harbor Freight. It's a Pittsburgh tool. And if you look at it here, basically it has 2 clamps, 1 on each end. This extends out, I think 50 inches is what it extends to. So I measured what I was going to cut it to. Basically slide this in and then lock it. So you would just lock that straight edge. And then you can take your normal skill saw and just run your skill saw right down it to make sure it's a level edge. So that's this. I would strongly suggest get one of these. This was, I believe, $19. It was not stupid expensive. And just a ton of things you can use this for. Just to help you be able to take the skill saw still, cut it. A lot of places out here where I'm cutting things, I don't have power. So I rely on the Ryobi battery system. So I think this, where I would use a bandsaw or something like that, this might actually help. But it was 19 bucks. I think it did a great job. I'll show you how these line on. I need to go ahead and slowly put some Loctite on here. I also need to fasten these into the wall because I don't want them to move. So that's the next piece. Let me take you over here and let's take a look. Okay, as you can see, I've got the drawers here. And one of the big things I'm going to try to do is attach them to the wall. So that, if you look here, I have 1 brace board back here. If you look across the back there, you can see it. Well, the goal is to get these pulled out enough that I then, in turn, can put a couple of screws in there to get that held. And I will do that all the way across with these and just make it to where they're at least solid before I show you all how I mount this top. So we'll put this back up here. We will go ahead and get it lined up so y'all can watch. And should, cross your fingers, go relatively smoothly, because we're just gonna pull this out, make sure it's square. Probably should take these drawers out, but I really don't feel like trying to figure out how to get them back in also. So we will just zip a couple screws in here and see how it goes. These are different bit screws. That might be a problem. Always have the right tools. You know, I watch a lot of people on YouTube. Try to spend some morning times watching. I think people watch reality TV. I watch YouTube. And I notice, you know, how difficult it is to get things filmed. And then I start doing it myself. And I feel like, man, people that do this for a living, it really is a full-time job. I heard Mike Morgan, with Outdoors with the Morgans, say that the other day. He said, you know, this is our full-time job. Hopefully, yeah. It's all I need, because once you put that top on this, it will also stay in there pretty well, should. I just don't want to get to a point where they're starting to fall away from the back. And my goal with these two was not to make them pretty. My goal was to make them useful, and they're free, which is a huge deal to me. I love free, especially on stuff like this where, you know what, it's just shop cabinets. It's not something that has to be real pretty or be real nice. Let's see where this is going to land us. I think that might require a couple, because I have a board back here. Actually, it might be okay. Just that that board is leaning pretty far in. So I think I'm just going to start with one, and we will go from there. This looks to be one that was left in here from when we took it out. So I'm trying to reuse as much as I possibly can. Okay, I've got a pretty good sight line on this. Actually, I'm going to put two. Those last two just don't feel real solid. They probably are. Just don't feel super great about it. I'll put another one in here just to make sure. I tried to watch that back end too, because I also don't want to pull something out. So I then have my Loctite, which we will put across the top, adhesive. Let's see if we can break this loose. Actually, I poked a nail down in there. Got an old redneck way of doing it. Let's do this. Let's flip this around. See if we can just get it to come out. Because I don't, last thing I want to do is break it. And then you've got the one piece, or the one thing of adhesive that I have. There we go. Is then broken and not usable. And I'm not trying to run back out to a big box store today to be able to figure out, get another thing of adhesive. There we go. I'm just going to run a bead of this. Across all ends. This is not as level as it should be. So hopefully, we still get it to look okay. And I'm guessing guessing as I put more on it, it will seat well. I might have to drive some screws down in it. I also might have to shim it just a bit. Okay, we'll put that there. Go along here. Can't be out yet. I'm guessing that this is not. Yeah, let's take a look at it here. Yeah, it's pushed, it's kind of ruined the inside. You all know if you've used one of these tubes before, you get it. This one, unfortunately, I believe, has broken on us. Yeah, there's all kinds of it inside there. It has broken. I do not have, actually I do have an old school manual one, which we'll take a look at. Let's put the battery up here. Let's hang this one over here. Let's see if maybe I can crank a little bit of this out of here using a manual one. Not certain. Yeah, it's too big. It's not even going to work for the larger ones. Well, that's all the adhesive we're going to get on it. Let's go ahead and set the tops. Remember, I've already cut these tops. I know the larger one here. We'll put it on first. Let's see how it lines up. It was a little better previously because I had it more level. Does that work? All right, more level. Today, more level, if you will, did not necessarily work. Let me get the second one put in there. I'm going to use the leftover for the backdrop, kind of like a backsplash. Hopefully, I got enough on here that it will serve well, like at least glue it down, right? Like it just at least give me a little bit of area glued together to turn it into a worktop. I think we're decent there. I'm gonna let them, yeah, see it is off. I'll show you here. When you look at this, not bad, but I will say, you can see right here where I'm off. And I probably need to drive a screw down in that or shim it from the bottom, which I think I have shims I can do from the bottom. But that's a hell of a lot of shim there too, to get that up, which I'm gonna honestly tell you, it's a worktop and I'm not super concerned about it. But I also believe I need to probably put some screws from the top down and in, especially towards the back, just to give a little added, I guess, strength to it. I don't want it sliding off. But I think also that Loctite's gonna help hold it a little bit. This I'm pretty frustrated with because when I first put it in there, I had it lined up just right. And right now that is just not working. But I'm also afraid that if I push that up, I might try to shim it. Let me see if I can shim that thing and come back to you here.
The further we move on from all those yesterdays, happiness gets nearer. The light that we see closing in so fast ahead, it's hope, it's getting clearer. The more I think of all the tough times we survived, the more it makes me smile. If nothing's broken us, yeah, nothing ever will, 'cause dreams are hard to kill. And I know somewhere's a place where we can build our memories. Somewhere, just hold on tight, it'll be alright. Show me the way, show me a way to somewhere. To somewhere. Nothing from the past can hurt us anymore. We're free of what we lost. Not anything or anyone will hold us back, no matter what the cost. And I know somewhere's a place where we can build our memories.
It's a little hot today, but hopefully this gives you a little bit to where you can kind of know what you can do with free stuff. I mean, I look at it this way. I think, honestly, free stuff's the best stuff, especially if you're looking for it just to accomplish just basic shop work, right? All I need is a place to store my tools, some other items, be able to keep things halfway organized and get better organized. I'm probably going to look at putting some things like some uppers across here for goat medicine, insecticide, pesticide, things like that. Things that I just want up and out of the way and ultimately open up more storage, but also allow me to just have better organization. And this was done relatively cheaply. Free cabinets, again, this is literally a U-line packing table. So if you're looking for exactly what this is, it's a U-line packing table. I have no idea how old it is. It's pretty beat up, but U-line packing table, found it with no legs, $25 per table. I've got 50 bucks total into it. So hopefully today was halfway informative. Appreciate you watching, and just gonna keep filming goofy stuff that I learned, and hopefully I can help you learn something, or you can give me some advice as we go. Thanks a lot. Have a great one. See you from Lucky 5 Farms.